Grade 2s, welcome to Friday and to our Bible lesson. Today we are going to be learning about the story of Jesus and one of his amazing miracles when he heals the blind man. This story comes from John 9. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
Stories of the Bible. Jesus heals a man born blind. This is Jesus,
Hey-o!
who is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. While Jesus was on earth, he taught everyone about God's love. He did many miracles and healed people of their sickness. One day, Jesus was walking with his disciples, and he saw a man who was born blind.
Hey, Jesus!
His disciples wondered whose fault it was. That this man was blind, Jesus told them it was not because anyone sinned, but rather it was because the power of God could be shown through this man's life. Then Jesus spit on the ground and made mud. He spread the mud over the blind man's eyes and told him, "Go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam." So the man went and did as Jesus said, and he could see.
Wow!
The man's neighbors and others who knew him as the blind man wondered if this was the same man.
Is that the same guy? No way.
They said, "No, he just looks like him."
It's me. No, it can't be.
But the blind man kept saying, "Yes, it's me." So the people asked, "Who healed you? What happened?" And the man told them all that Jesus had done for him.
Ew, that's what happened.
The people asked, "Where is Jesus now?" But the man didn't know.
Come on, you.
So the people took the man to the Pharisees because it was the Sabbath, the day of rest, and they thought Jesus shouldn't have made mud and healed the man on the Sabbath. The Pharisees asked the man so many questions,
What's going on?
and he answered them, "I was blind, but now I can see." The Pharisees kept asking more questions. They even brought the man's parents in to ask them questions, but they wouldn't answer because they were afraid of the Pharisees. Finally, the man had enough and yelled,
Listen!
"Look, I told you once. Why do you want to hear it again? If this man were not from God, he couldn't have made me see."
Don't come back.
The Pharisees were so mad at the man for saying this that they threw him out of the synagogue. Jesus heard what happened,
Oh, hey there.
and he found the man and asked him, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" The man answered, "Who is he, sir? I want to believe in him." "You have seen him," Jesus said, "and he is speaking to you."
Wow!
"Yes, Lord, I believe." And he worshiped Jesus.
I hope that you found that interesting. I'm sure you have heard that story before, but it's always good to remind ourselves of the many different amazing things that Jesus did. He didn't just do one or two things, there were so many, and that certainly was an incredible miracle. So let's recap and just chat about exactly what happened through that story. Okay, so obviously we know that Jesus met a man who couldn't see. Okay, so he was blind, like you can see in the picture on the right-hand side. Those girls are using sticks because they can't see nicely. So if you ever do see somebody who has a stick like that, that means that they're blind and they're using that stick to help them to figure out where they're going and for any dangers ahead. So just make sure that you don't get in their way and that you just show them some respect. So this man in the story was born blind. He had never been able to see, not once in his whole life. So close your eyes tightly shut. Can you see anything? Can you see colors? Can you see nature? Can you see your friends or family? Can you even see simple things like a door, a floor, a wall? No. So this man had not been able to see anything his whole life. As a child growing up, he wouldn't have been able to, play sport or play games with friends in the normal way that we do, because he wouldn't have been able to see things. So it really must have been tough for this man that he had never had sight. He had no context. If someone was saying to him, wow, flowers are so beautiful, or that flower's in bloom, he wouldn't even be able to understand what they were talking about. Jesus decided to heal the man. How did he do it? He took some dirt and he mixed it with his own spit to make mud. Then he spread that mud on the blind man's eyes. So Jesus didn't have to do anything fancy. He used what he had. Okay. He wasn't Jesus was just a normal man. He dressed normally. He looked normal according to the other people around him. He didn't stand out by the way he looked or really with what he did. He didn't make some show of healing this man. It wasn't some great event with a magic box or, magic wands. No, he just used the dirt at his feet and he mixed it with his own spit. Isn't that amazing? And then spread that on the man's eyes. Jesus then told the man to go wash up in a pool, and when the man did, he could see again. It was a miracle. So isn't that incredible? I think, though, we do need to realize here that that man must have had faith, because if he didn't have faith, he probably would have sniggered or laughed when Jesus said to him, go wash in that pool. He probably wouldn't have done it. But he had faith that this was possible, and off he went to that pool, and he was healed. A miracle was performed. So we do need to have faith, and we do need to listen to Jesus always. However, some people weren't happy about this. I mean, isn't it crazy? Somebody's sight was returned to them, and other people were unhappy. Some people didn't believe it was the same man as the one who had been born blind. They said, no, that's not the same man. No miracles happened. No, Jesus didn't heal him. They denied it. Some people were angry because Jesus did work on the holy Sabbath day, since he had made mud and healed someone. So they said the Sabbath is a holy day. It's a day of rest. You may not do any work. But Jesus sees this as important. He sees miracles touching people's lives, improving lives, healing people as important. He doesn't see it as work, as in something hard or difficult. But these people condemned him for it and said, no, you're doing work. You can't heal people. What do you think about that, boys and girls? If you see somebody who's hungry and it's the Sabbath day, must you say, sorry, I can't come and help you today. I can't give you food today. No, it's the Sabbath. I'll do it tomorrow, maybe next week. Is that right? No. The neighbors and church leaders were questioning the healed man and his parents. They were so suspicious and upset that they missed out on appreciating this great miracle. They didn't just take it and say, wow, this is so wonderful. A miracle's been performed. That man can see. Let's celebrate. Let's have a celebration, a party. No, they called the man in. They called his parents in. They made them afraid. They drilled them with questions. How has this happened? We don't believe you. All this suspicion. They put doubt. And in that, it said that they missed out on appreciating the miracle. They closed their eyes in a way. Isn't that ironic, boys and girls? The man who was blind, his eyes were opened. He had faith. He saw the miracle. While at the same time, other people actually closed their eyes, not literally like they didn't go blind, like they actually couldn't see, but they closed the eyes of their hearts, meaning that they didn't believe that Jesus could do these things. They were suspicious, they denied it, they had anger, they shut their hearts off to the amazing possibilities that were there because of Jesus and what he could do. Okay, boys and girls, I think this is a good opportunity to pray. So if you just bow your heads and pray along with me in your heart. Dear God, thank you for your miraculous work. You do amazing things in the world and in our lives. Thank you for the true stories of the Bible. Help me to open my eyes so that I can love and serve those around me. Thank you for your love. We love you, God. In Jesus' name, amen. Isn't it wonderful to be a believer, boys and girls, to believe in Jesus, to have faith in him, not to be suspicious, but to have our hearts opened to him and to all of these possibilities. It must be very sad if you don't feel like that. You must feel very lonely. And for us, we know that Jesus is always with us, always bringing us comfort. He understands us and knows us, so we never need to feel lonely. Today's task, boys and girls, you are going to get your Life Skills and Bible book and turn to the side that says Bible. You need to look at page 22. Jesus heals the blind. Don't forget about the date at the top, the 3rd of July. So step 1, you are going to focus on this box here that I've circled. And you are going to answer this question. How do you think the blind man felt after Jesus had healed him? So I think write quite small so you can explain yourself nicely. How do you think that man felt? So after he had taken himself off to the pool and washed his eyes and then opened them and been able to see, how would he have felt? Once you've done that, you're going to fill in this crossword. So with the crossword, you need to be very careful that the answers for across are going across from left to right. The answers for down are going down from top to bottom. So for example, you can start with all your crosses first. So for example, number 2 says, brightness that comes from the sun, candles, or electrical devices that allows things to be seen. Okay, so that's what number 2 says. That's the clue. Now you need to think, okay, what is that answer? If you look right at the bottom of the page, there's a box with 8 words in it. Light, wash, blind, eyes, glory, man, mud, and heal. So these are the answers. You need to choose which answer matches number 2 across. Once you've figured it out, you find number 2, find where it's going across from left to right, and you fill in the answer. So do all of your crosses first, then do your downs, all the answers going down. Okay, you can cross out in the box at the bottom. Once you've used a word, it will just help you a little bit. Okay, and then please color in this picture of Jesus healing the man. It always makes your work look much better if there's a spot of color. Enjoy this activity and have a wonderful weekend.